This morning, it's Daddy Daycare. We've got a fort. We've got one bad kid. So, if it focuses, there you go. This window right here, we have a problem with starlings, birds, on the farm. They fly in flocks of like hundreds or thousands. Excuse me. And they thoroughly enjoy running into this window. And I don't see any that didn't survive their hit here recently. He finds it wildly entertaining when the birds run into the window. So, see? Gets up on his little chair, watches the birds hit the window. Alrighty. Well, today's the day we finish this thing. In actuality, I only probably have about 2 hours of working in it, but having a family, having kids, loading all that furniture the other day. We're supposed to unload that today, but looks like it's going to rain, so we might hold off on that. So I'm going to hop back on this, get everything pretty much buttoned up. My thermostat housing should be here shortly. Well, 20 minutes later, all we really need to do is tighten the fan. And we're at the mercy of the Amazon man right now, which they usually come here pretty early, especially on Sunday. It's usually by lunchtime or so, to at least be able to get this thing filled up with coolant and have, half a day or so to run it. It's not like I'm going to be stressing late tonight. I don't really even need it tomorrow. I need it more for Tuesday. Tomorrow I can use that for a couple small things. And then this thing has to go on the road this week, so our belt was the correct one. Slide it over just a little bit on the tensioner. I don't like the way it's sitting. A little too far out to the edge. And we'll wrap this thing up. Excited to have this thing back on the road. I don't know why I love this old turd, but let's see what she's got. 216,000. It's funny though. I was planning on switching seat bottoms with the one from the passenger side I have that I took out this weekend. Of course, doing this instead. So I'm finishing up and I'm standing here and my wife's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm really to a point where I'm done except for the part that Amazon's dropping off." And she's like, "Well, I just saw the mailman drop something off at our mailbox." And I'm like, "Well, it's Sunday, it's gotta be Amazon." And sure enough, that's what it was. So I got that billet thermostat housing that I'm going to put on real quick, and just got to fill it up with coolant. We're supposed to get some rain here in probably about, it's starting to sprinkle, but I think it's supposed to rain pretty good here in about an hour and a half. So I'd at least like to get this thing filled with coolant and running enough to check for leaks, get it hot, and then shut it off, and then I can come back out once the rain's done. But all we got to do is get a new thermostat in there. Just got to put the housing on and the upper hose. Come on. Want your bucket? Okay, let's go. Well, as you can see, I didn't beat the rain. I actually got soaked. But we're here at Advance. I'm going to actually go in and I looked online. I might not have to get a whole rear caliper bracket. I can probably just get the bolts, maybe. They say they have them for the specific model, but you know how that goes with places like this. If I feel like it's not going to work or it's not the right size, I'm just going to get the whole bracket and be safe. But then they ran into town now because it started raining, and we're supposed to get pretty good amount of rain here from now to about early afternoon. So all I got to do is fill the coolant and run the truck on that side, and then just either pull this pin out and put the new pin and bolt in, or put the whole new bracket on. But we'll see. Not really on a time crunch, which is nice, so things are going smooth so far. Now, if I'm correct, I think this thing takes like 8 gallons of coolant is the capacity, but that would be like a total rebuild where the block is dry. So I've got 4 gallons of concentrate and then obviously 4 gallons of water. So we'll see how much it ends up taking, but I'm going to say maybe 6. I wouldn't see it taking more than that, but again, not an expert. now we wait. We sit here, stand here, let it get warm enough to the thermostat opens, and kind of let it purge itself of all the air so I can make sure it's topped off. I'm going to let it sit and cool. I got some errands around with my wife. Come back, do the same thing, check for leaks, and then I'm going to take it on a test drive and make sure all is good. Excuse me, sir. Are you all right? When you're trying to watch football, but also make sure your truck's not leaking, it's one way to do it. Well, this is about all of the test drive we're gonna get today in this thing. A little too excited watching the Redskins game. Having too much fun. I'll take care of the horses here real quick, and by the end of that they should have a W.